Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. And welcome to another episode of Fountain Pen Calligraphy 102. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we're going to talk about flex. Specifically the kind we can do with a fountain pen. Gone over all of the basic strokes. Let's get down to some brass tacks, aka the flexibility of the fountain pen. So, buckle up. It's gonna be a long one. Or maybe a short one, depending on... Yep, okay, good. So, pretty good as Gary's surgery went well. I didn't even know Gary was having surgery. What happened to Gary? Is he okay? He didn't tell me he was going into surgery. Well, my ear is still infected, but they did give me some... I went to the doctor today, and she gave me some medicine, so hopefully that will be gone in about 7 days or so. Cross fingers or hope to live. I should have written this on finer lined paper. Alrighty then, let's do some flexibility. Let's talk about the flex, shall we? So, I'm going to show you a couple of fountain pens that have some flexibility, and we'll go from there. So, this is a Waterman 12 POC fountain pen. 12 POC. You can see it says it right there. And it came with a rather stubby nib, but I put this nib on it, which is a number 2 size Waterman nib, and you'll notice that the tines are very long, and the nib has this kind of falcon shaped thing going on, and that helps with capillary action. When they made these way back 100 years ago, they really thought about, is this going to make for good flexibility? Is it not going to make for good flexibility? Am I going to have to dip this thing or fiddle fart around with it? Nope. They made these things to last. They're very hefty and durable. You could probably hurt somebody if you threw this just hard enough at them. And then we move down the line to the Waterman 12, which has this really nifty herringbone pattern, I think they call this. And then you can see it right here on the 12 POC. It has the patent date. Patent date May 23rd, 1899 through August 4th, 1903. Patented 1899 to 1903. And this is just a 12. So, and they have two totally, they're the same nibs, but yet they have totally different characteristics. They look similar, but you might even be able to tell that one is just slightly different than the other. This one is very flexible, and this one is not so flexible. Yet they write with a little bit of pressure. You can spread the tines apart to create what is called a swell. Now that is what calligraphy is all about, is creating a very nice swell. Let's do an example. Well, let's go over the rest of these pens. This is a generic Jane Davenport pen with a number 5, a 5.5 Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib. This is just a cheap pen that I found that has a converter that fit this pen, and it has a 5.5 Ultra Flex nib. Here we have the Noodler's Conrad with a number 6 size Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib. Well, these are the same. Nope. One is very much different than the other. Very large, the number 6 to the 5.5. And they're totally different feeling too. This one's a little stiffer than this one. So, when you're looking for a fountain pen nib and you want a certain look, if you want to have to put more pressure, get a smaller nib. This one is very flexible. This one would be closest to the 12 in retrospect to the amount of pressure that you would have to push down in order to get the same amount of line variation. This one is what they would call a wet noodle, because when you press down, you go upstroke, nice fine line, but when you do the downstroke, it does almost a double broad line. Okay. The Fountain Pen Revolution 6 nib can do a very fine line. But when you do the downstroke, it does almost the same as the wet noodle. Then when you get into really stiff nibs, this is the stiff nib. I call it Stiffy. It does a extra fine line up. Sometimes you gotta get a little bloop. Extra fine line up, and not as flexible line coming down. I mean, I could press it and get a really thick line, but then you run the risk of springing the tines, which means that when you press down on it, they don't come back, because the curvature of the nib has gone from this shape to this shape. So you do not want to overflex your pens, because then your nib tines will look like this. I know, because I've done it before. It's not a pretty look, trust me. 0 out of 10 stars. Would not repeat. He said he could tell you he had an embedded Protoneal catheter placed. Oh, yes. Okay. Peritoneal catheter. Okay. Well, I hope that he feels better, because that sucks. And did he have edema that wasn't going away? Sometimes they do that when edema gets too high. Poor little guy. Well, you give him our best and tell him that we're thinking about him. Alright, I need to fill this up. What are we going to fill it up with? What do you think, Kathy? What should we fill this Jane Davenport up with, huh? Oh, no. Aw, poor Gary. Kidney failure is the worst. Is it both kidneys or just one kidney? Shall we put some Noodler's Heart of Darkness in this pen, even though I'm terrified? Maybe we should do like a not so aggressive. How about a nice orange ink? We'll do orange for Halloween. How's that? That sounds fun. Some of the purple ink, but not the Lamy. Well, okay, we'll put some purple ink in it. I'll be right back. I'm going to wash this out just real quick. How about... One great thing about this pen is that Gary likes orange. Okay, which is it going to be? Is it going to be orange or purple? Orange, black, or purple? Or orange, black, and purple? How about some of this new ink? This Cross Violet. This is a new ink. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. You can tell it's going to be pretty already. Okay. I kind of like this sliding converter thing, but at the same time, I don't like it because it's going to be... Ugh. Anyway, alright, let's try this purple ink out. So this is... the upstroke and the downstroke. So you can see it's similar, but not exactly. So when we're flexing out a pen, we're not just bringing a line down, we're pushing down on the top of the pen just ever so slightly to give you a little bit of line variation. And once you figure out that in order to give it a little bit of line variation, and if you do it just fast enough, you'll naturally let go to push up. Because if you try and push down and up at the same time, you'll dig holes into your paper. So, just on the downstroke, when you do the downstroke, you push down. So when you push down, to make a swell, and let up, to make a thinner line. So light, light, light upstrokes, hard downstrokes. Light upstroke, hard downstroke. And when we're making an overturn, push, 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 let go. Up, push, 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 let go. And you want to start, you're pushing right there. So right as soon as you get to the top, and you start to come back down around, push, 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 and then right as soon as you get to the line, let up. Now you don't want to do this, because if you start up and you come down and you push, 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 and then you leave a high heel, you don't want to leave a high heel. You want to go up, come down, push, 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 go right to the line, and then let up. And then if you find that you are making a high heel, you can kind of drag it back. Kind of drag it back this way to make it look like it's supposed to. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. It's the tripod. So, make sure that you go up, and then when you come back down, push, push, push all the way to the line, and then kind of go back this way, and then pull up this way. So you're kind of making this kind of a motion, but real tiny like. Kind of making a little foot, but not so dramatic. So you want to go up, down, and as soon as you get used to it, you will know where to let off and exactly how much pressure to put down. Same thing with the underturns. You'll go start up at the top, drag, pull down, let up. You'll start just a little bit over and you'll scoot your nib okay, I'm gonna grab my phone here, try and do this as jankily as possible. You're gonna open up your nib and then pull down and let off and then come back up. So push, pull, let up, okay? So and they're not all gonna be perfect. Like if you don't want to do that later when you're stylizing your own letter forms, that's great. You do you. Hiya, Will. I'm using the ink you got me. Please stop sending me bottles. I love you, but I thought you were going to send me a sample. And now I have 2 bottles of ink that I probably won't get a chance to use very often. I have this beautiful Purple Dream and this Cross Violet. They're very beautiful, but I don't really have room for bottles. I will definitely gift lots of it. Okie dokie. So that's going in that. I should probably write this down. Actually, I'm going to write it down here. Cross Violet. Okay. Kathy, are you still here? Can I ask you a question? Did you get this orange Soleil in an ink flight, or did you get this from a bottle? If anybody out there has a bottle of this orange Soleil, I would like a sample of it, because I made a boo-boo. I mixed orange Soleil with Pannonia Dungo in this pen on accident. And it makes a beautiful color. And all I have left is this little tiny dribble in this Lamy pen of the orange Soleil. It was in an ink flight. Okay, that's great. But this is a very pretty color. I messed up and I really like the color. But I have too many inks as it is. I don't need any more inks. I have to use the ones that I have, and then maybe I can have some more. But like that's gonna take me 100 years to go through all that ink. Let's call it rectal cranial inversion. Yes, exactly. So let's take a look at this letter form here. When we're making an oval, we start halfway up, and we go up, and then right at the top we start press, and then right just as we're coming to the bottom, we let up, and we go up again, and we meet up with where we started going up again. And the crazy thing is, once you figure out what letter this is going into, let's say that it's going into an A, you're going to make an oval, and then in order to cover up this little splotch here, you're going to come up to the top, and you're going to make an underturn right through that little mistake. I mean, unless you're perfect with your lining up, which not a lot of people are, you can take and do an underturn right through it, and no one will know the difference. So, oops, that was a bad one. See? And the same thing goes for an E. If you're starting just a little off, you just you come up, and then you come out, and in order to cover this little join here, you come up, over, and then when you go right through that join right there, and it covers up with that little tail that you're making in there, and try not to go over like this and down. You don't want this little tail hanging out. So try and move over a space if you can't, if you're not in a hurry, which you shouldn't be if you're doing calligraphy. Just make a little space and then draw a regular E. The same thing goes with a C. Make a little space, come up, over, around, down, and out. And the same thing goes for a D if you're making an oval. Okay, then you're going to make an ascending stem loop. You're going to cross through that starting point, through that join right there, and into your next letter. So you get a double height, you get a double magician point right there, if you can make both of those joining points disappear. Bada boom! The G is the same way. Oval, hide that joining point, hide that joining point. Boom! Double magician points. Yeah, no. I have too many inks. I have too many inks. I need some time. I mean, you can send them. It's going to be a while before I can get around to even reviewing them. If you guys want ink, all you have to do is go to the About section of my profile, see which inks that you might want, and if I'm willing to part with them, send me a message on Instagram and say, hey, I really want this ink, can I have some? And send me your address. I'll tell you if I want to get rid of some or not, and then have you send me your address to the Instagram, and I'll send you some ink for Christmas or birthday, or whatever. I have too much ink. Please take some ink. That is one of the... Oh, gee. I got ink on me. Oh no, I got ink on me. So sad. But true. Oh no. Staying on there. It doesn't want to leave. Oh well, that's what bath time is for. Ha ha ha. Bath time. Put some rubbing alcohol. Nope. Ooh, it does not want to come off of there. Alright, well, I'll deal with that later. So, any questions, comments, concerns so far? Is anybody playing along out there? No? Guys should be playing along. Gotta play the home game. If you want to win a 5 ml sample of Lamy Dark Lilac. 5 ml sample of Lamy Dark Lilac. Still here. Good. So now that we have the idea of flexing down, let's do some alphabet letters. You'll find that some nibs flex easier than others. These are the same nib. One is older than the other, one has more flexibility than the other, and one is also finer than the other. So this will come across all brands, whether you use fountain pens or not. One will always be thinner than another. And you might be able to not tell the difference, but I can definitely tell the difference that this one is way thicker than that one. And I'm using just about the same. So it really is different cross brands depending on when the nibs were made and how to compare the Lamy Dark Lilac and the Cross Violet, which is flexier. Well, the newer one is always going to be the flexier one. This one is rather old. I've had this one. This is probably my first Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib, and I've had this one for about 2.5 years, and it's really flexy. This one I've had for about 6 months, and I use the same amount of pressure, and I got 2 totally different line variations. About the same amount of pressure. If you want to go vintage, the older the better. If you're looking for a vintage flex fountain pen, my advice to you is look up Pierre Gustafson. Wait a minute. Gustafson. Okay, Gustafson. And ask him. He is very picky on who he sells his nibs to. But he's the guy to go to. He'll ask you to do a sample of your writing through a video. Take your phone, point your hand, and make sure that your hand is able to be seen, and write the quick brown fox as fast as you can. And he will make a determination based on what you want and based on what type of flexibility you want. And he will provide you with a couple of pens to try out. And you can tell him whether you want to buy them or not. This guy is where all vendors should be this way. Why don't we have catalogs like this anymore? You rent a couple of pieces. They have the eyeglass people do it. And those are like $300 pairs of eyeglasses a piece. And they give you like 4 to try out. That's crazy. That's like $1,200 worth of glasses that they allow you to take to try out. And then you just send back the ones that you don't want. And they charge you for the ones that you want. That's where it should be. One fine and one extra fine. Yes. Anyway, I'm rambling. Don't notice. Rambling Joe me. Don't notice. Okay, so let's do some alphabet, shall we? Let's have some soup. Alphabet soup. Do. Okay. A. B. C. Oops, I didn't bring it up high enough. D. E. F. G. H. I. J. K. L. M. Come down her. N. O. Come up. Swell. Let up. Connect. And then we're going to do a comma dot. That is how you can get rid of that connection point. Is if you put the comma dot right over where your connection was. P. Up. Down. And you can hide your connection point inside of the long stem loop. Now you can also make your P the descending stem loop, starting your up reverse oval inside of the stem, so that way you can hide the connection point, hiding your upstroke inside the bottom of the downstroke to the reverse oval. These are just really brilliant ways to hide your connection points. Pierre is an amazing individual. He's such a tortured soul, but he's brilliant. Q is an upstroke, an oval, and then a reverse descending stem loop, and an upstroke. R, upstroke, comma dot, underturn, S, upstroke, S curve, tittle, upstroke. Anytime you can hide a join, you're winning. So just every time that you're finding that you're hiding those little tiny connections, you're totally winning. T, upstroke, R, downstroke. Oops, I didn't hide it good enough, and I railroaded. When your tines separate, now I can't get it to do it when I want it to. Right there, right at the end, right there it railroaded. And that's okay, all you gotta do is just bring this puddle in from the side and cover it up. Okie dokie. Common flexi pens do railroad every now and then, it's normal. And then don't forget to cross your T. U is an upstroke, an underturn, and an underturn. A V is an upstroke, and when you come back down, you press, 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 and then let up, and then upstroke. And then a comma dot. The W is like a U, upstroke, an underturn, into a comma dot. And you can see that it looks like a comma dot because it kind of looks like an apostrophe or maybe a quotation comma, an upside down comma. It's a comma dot. All right. Then the X is, now remember we're going upstroke and then upstroke, so we have to go up, around, down, and then up. And then our cross should be the same shape as the underlying. As you see, I'm using my guide sheet to tell me where my upstrokes and downstrokes go. Upstroke, sideways, upstroke. And then if I want to get the ups, always go up. Because if you go down, it's going to look like that. And the two thick lines don't cross each other. So when you're writing, that's why you always do an upstroke. And your downstrokes are thick. Because if you, I don't know what it would look like if you tried to go thick upstroke, a thick downstroke. It just wouldn't look good. The Same applies to when you're doing flourishes. You always want to do a thick flourish over a thin flourish. A thick flourish over a thin flourish. But we'll get into flourishing another day. Y is upstroke, down, up, and then press, down, let up, up. Now try not to make this junction look like some sort of freeway. Try and make it with just a little bit of space in there, so that way you can have it look like a Y and not like some sort of crazy looking freeway. Z is a modified overturn. It comes in just a little bit, and then it comes back up into a descending stem loop, and then an upstroke. Now, if you look really, really closely, it kind of looks like it's going behind the Z, and that's the look that you want to have. This little bit here is going behind the thicker stroke. Are we ready to write some words? We sure are. Okay, let's do the purple one. Let's do some purple. How about the quick brown fox? So we're going to do these on a single line. Upstroke the ascending stem loop, compound curve, cross the T, E, upstroke. Q is a upstroke with an oval, a reverse descending stem loop, upstroke. U is an underturn, underturn. I is an underturn. C is a C stroke. K is an ascending stem loop into a K loop and an upstroke. Don't forget to dot your I or tittle your I. Brown is an upstroke, ascending stem loop, reverse oval, upstroke. R is an R stroke, underturn, oval. Now we're making a connection here, so we're gonna loop out into the W, underturn, underturn, round into an overturn. Whoa, that's a cool looking little thing that we haven't learned about yet. You're gonna find that certain letters are gonna look really weird by doing this underturn overturn thing. And then into an overturn, a compound curve. So a reverse compound curve into a compound curve. Fox is ascending stem loop, reverse descending stem loop, an oval. Now we're making a weird connection again because we're going to loop out, reverse compound curve, and across. Reverse compound curve, right, into a cross. Okay, jumps is upstroke, descending stem loop, upstroke, tittle, oval, oops, jumps is upstroke, underturn, underturn, reverse compound curve, overturn, compound curve, reverse compound curve into a compound curve. Nope, that's not it at all. Upstroke, descending stem loop, underturn, reverse compound curve, overturn, compound curve, descending stem loop, reverse oval, don't forget your tittle, S stroke, tittle, upstroke, oval, over, reverse compound curve, E stroke, R stroke, the upstroke, underturn, ascending stem loop, compound curve, E stroke. Upstroke, ascending stem loop, oval, underturn, overturn, modified overturn, descending stem loop, compound curve, descending stem loop, upstroke, upstroke, oval, ascending stem loop, oval, comma dot, oval, descending stem loop, upstroke. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to write this really fast in no time. And soon you won't even need any guide sheets at all, because your paper will be turned at a degree that will slant your lines for you. As you can see, the checkerboard is facing in the direction that my desk is. It's level with my desk. So my paper is turned about yay so. And then I can write pretty quickly. Bye, Will. Have a great day. See you later. Alright. Once we get down to it, start writing very quickly. Alexa, stop. All right. Oh, Will, have you left yet? I did want to do well, I haven't done the review of this ink yet, but I promise I will get around to doing it, and it will get its full review. This is a really pretty ink, and I do like it. I have to say, I like it better than the Lamy Dark Lilac. It's lighter. I can see the color of it. I even think I might like it better than the TWSBI Royal Purple, but it will get its full review. Tomorrow, we will be talking about the Majuscules. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Majuscules alphabet. For those of you who don't speak Latin, that's the capital letters. Okie dokie. So, that is all for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed that one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day. See you soon.